Did you know that Sephora has a bestsellers list? Well, hey, beauties, welcome. If you are new here, my name is Angela Denise, and I love makeup. Today, I'm going to be breaking down the top 50 makeup products currently available at Sephora, the skin types that I recommend them for, or are there better alternatives? And Sephora is one of my favorite places to shop. So, just in case you're not aware, I'm going to show you really quickly where to find the Sephora bestsellers list. We're going to go through this rapid fire. I have a ton of these products here in my current collection. Let's dive right in. Buy or buy. Before we jump into it, if you like the look that I'm wearing today, everything is going to be listed down in the description bar just in case you are interested. We are going to be doing this buy or buy style. I'm going to be going rapid fire, letting you know whether I think these are actually worth it and what skin types or scenarios that they would work best in. So, starting with the EADEM Softening Lip Balm. I absolutely love this lip balm. I think it's a total buy, and I think that it is the best lip balm that Sephora has to offer that is sold at Sephora, point blank period. It has a chemical exfoliant in it, so it's going to exfoliate the lips. It has a peptide, which peptide helps build collagen in the lips, so that's going to help reduce the likelihood of fine lines over time. And they have a beautiful shade range. Absolutely 10 out of 10. It is definitely a buy for me. The Bobbi Brown Long Wear Waterproof Cream Eyeshadow Stick. I have not actually tried these yet, but I'm very familiar with the Bobbi Brown brand and I have used them for many years, way back when I was a practicing makeup artist. So if you want something that is a one and done, something that you can use on the go, I will definitely say that these are a buy. Now, the Rode Pocket Blush, Buildable Hydrating Cream Blush. I'm going to say it is a buy because I don't think that it looks pretty on textured skin. I do have a little bit of texture here on the upper cheek area. You may not be able to see it because I do wear a lot of blurring products, powders, primers, and so on. The formula is beautiful. So if you have really like a perfect canvas or dry skin, if you have dry skin and are around my skin tone or deeper, the shade Toasted Teddy, which is a bronze terracotta, would look amazing. But I'm still going to say that this one is a bye-bye. All right. The Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb High Shine Sticks. I have the Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb Sticks in many different shades. I really love this formula. Just know that it's not a long-wearing formula. This is basically going to be a creamed lip gloss and it's going to wear off very easily. However, the shades are absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to say that this one is a buy. YSL Inks Vinyl Lip Cream High Shine Lip Cream Stain. It's online only. I was actually quite surprised to see this. I honestly do not like the way these look. It does say vinyl. I'm not really into a vinyl lip. I think that if you have a lot of fine lines on your lips, I actually have naturally lips that's kind of crinkly. My lips have always been this way, and obviously that's not going to improve over time as I get older. So I'm going to actually put these in the buy category. All right. The Tarte Maracuja Creaseless Creamy Liquid Concealer. I have not ever tried any, even Shape Tape. Believe it or not, I do not have Shape Tape. Or have I ever tried this concealer? And there are just so many competitive concealers out there these days. And the shade range on here is actually not bad. Let's see. Natural finish, medium coverage, cruelty-free, liquid. It's formulated with vitamin C, the maracuja oil, which is supposed to lead to firming and brightness over time. But with all of that said, I think that there are better concealers out there. So I'm going to put this in the buy category. All right. The Haus Labs Triclone Skin Tech Medium Coverage Foundation. Here it is here in my collection. I wear two different shades. I can wear two different shades. This one is the shade 385. I can also wear the shade 425. I believe it. That one has a more neutral undertone. I actually think that this is a buy. It's one of my very favorite foundations in my collection. I think that it is medium buildable to full coverage. The arnica that's formulated in this foundation helps reduce redness if that's a concern for you. I would say work in sections with this foundation and apply extra coverage in spots. But yes, definitely one of my favorites. And I think it's a buy. Okay. The Westman Atelier Vital Skincare Brightening Concealer with Hyaluronic Acid. Again, I am very biased when it comes to concealer these days. And because there are a few that I have been trying out that are absolutely 10 out of 10. However, this one is a brightening concealer. She is very pricey. The shade range is limited. So this is a full coverage hydrating natural finish concealer. The shade range is limited, and I just personally think that there are some better options out there. So I'm going to go ahead and say that this is a buy. All right, the Super Goop Glow Screen Radiance Drops Mineral SPF 40. I'm definitely going to say that this is a buy. I think that this is a good product that if you have more youthful skin, I will say go with it. Radiance Drops, absolutely not. Unless you're going to be doing a more targeted application, which that you could use a different product for that doesn't cost $40. So bye-bye. The Danessa Myricks Conceal and Sculpt brush is on the bestsellers list. I think that's very interesting. The reviews are not so great. I have other brushes that I could get at a more affordable price that will do what I think that brush is going to do. So I'm going to say that this one is a buy. Bye. The Danessa Myricks Blurring Balm Soft Glow Highlighter. This is a low lighter. I really don't wear highlights very much, and if I do, there are just some very, very specific ones that I would wear. But Danessa Myricks and her formulations are absolutely top tier, especially when it comes to a cream. Danessa Myricks has the best cream products that you can get at Sephora, in my humble opinion. It is formulated with squalane, so it's going to be good if you have dry skin and normal skin. I don't think this will be a good look for my oily girls, unless you're going to be doing, well, this is a low lighter, so you want to put it in a very targeted area on the skin. So I'm going to say that this is a buy. The Anastasia Brow Wiz. This is a cult classic. I think that this is definitely a buy. Just for me personally, but well, let me just say this. The formulation of the Brow Wiz is absolutely A1. The basis of Anastasia started with brows. So Anastasia knows brows. I have very high confidence when it comes to anything Anastasia and brows. Okay, the Bobbi Brown Weightless Skin Oil Controlling Foundation. So this is a medium coverage, oil absorbing, waterproof, sweat resistant matte foundation. And with all of that said, SPF 15. If you're going to put SPF in a product, like at least give us SPF of 30. Aside from that, I really did not like this formula. I didn't like the way it laid on my skin, even though it was like a serum-y thin formula. It just did not look good on me. So I'm going to say it's a buy. The Armani Luminous Silk Natural Glow Blurring Liquid Foundation. And I'm already tell you, I will be repurchasing this during the Sephora Savings event. This bottle here is cracked because my 1-year-old got to it. It's cracked and I'm devastated. My winter shade would be shade 8.6. My summer shade would be shade 10.1. Do I think that this is a buy? 100%. Summer Fridays Lip Butter Balm Treatment. I do not think that this is worth it. I really think that it's a buy for me. I have a couple of them in my collection, and I did feed into the hype. I just don't get it. It's a nice lip balm. It does not compare, not even a little bit, to the EADEM lip balm, just saying. All right. The Sephora Collection Outrageous Plump Hydrating Lip Gloss, girl. I have it here. Okay, the one that I have in front of me is the shade Nude or 02 Nude XXL. This is a plumping gloss. They're highly affordable, and girl, especially when you can get Sephora Collection at 30% off 2 times or more a year, I will say this is hands down absolutely worth the buy, worth the bargain. I'm going to go ahead and touch up my lip gloss. Yes, love this lip gloss. The Summer Fridays Flush Lip Stain 24-hour long-lasting lip tint. The reviews are kind of somewhere there in the middle. So I'm looking at the applicator, and I would prefer for my felt tip applicator to have a point at the end. This one doesn't really point the way I would want it to point. Let's look at the shade range. The shade range is absolutely lacking for my skin tone or deeper. So for me, I'm just going to say it's a buy for me just based off of the shade range. The Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Skin Tint, I think is worth it. I don't personally have it in my collection. I have tested it out here and there. I think that it is great for oily to normal skin types, my dry skin girlies. This was going to be one that you're going to want to stay away from. And also remember that this is a skin tint. So the shade range is not going to be as expansive. A lot of times with most brands, it's not going to be super expansive. However, I do like it. I do think it's a good formula for normal to oily skin. So I'm going to say it's a buy. Anastasia is on the list again, girl. The ArchiBrow Microblade Hair-Like Eyebrow Detailing Pencil. I actually want to give this a try. Let me see if they have a shade that I could wear other than chocolate. Okay, so they have dark brown and then ebony. Okay, chocolate, medium warm gold undertone, medium brown, cool undertone, dark brown, warm undertone. So if you're okay with a warm undertone, I'd say go ahead and give this a try. I'm going to consider this a buy for sure because Anastasia knows her way around a good brow pencil. Okay, the Laneige Glaze Craze Tinted Lip Serum Treatment. I'm going to say automatically that it is 100% a buy because I'm a very big fan of Laneige's lip treatment. So this is a lip glaze, so it's going to give you a really nice high shine, pigmented high shine, but it's also a treatment serum. So 100% yes, a buy. All right, so the MAC Studio Fix Powder Plus Foundation. I'm going to be all the way 100 with y'all. I ended up getting the shade NC50. I used to wear the shade NC47, and I'm having the hardest time with the new shade range, by the way. But this is what NC50 looks like. I think this may be a really good shade for me, but I do want to see what some of the other shades look like in person. Do I think this is a buy or buy? MAC Cosmetics is my first love when it comes to high-end and luxury beauty. I started out with drugstore makeup while I was in high school. And then shortly thereafter, once I started, working and earning on my own, MAC Cosmetics was that girl. The Studio Fix Powder Foundation is reformulated. It is different. It is a powdery formula. However, she still provides coverage. She still gets the job done when you're on the go and provides oil controlling. So it is definitely a buy for me. The Lancome Lash Idol Lengthening Volumizing Mascara. I actually really, really enjoy this mascara. I would say when it comes to mascara, I'm incredibly picky these days. There are so many amazing drugstore mascaras that you can pick from and not have to spend this coin. But if you can get the Lancome mascara at a discount, then it's definitely something that I would say is worth the buy. I would never pay full price for the Lancome Lengthening and Volumizing Mascara. All right, but it's definitely a buy. The Rhode Peptide Lip Pencil. It's clean, fragrance-free, formulated with a peptide. It's a cream lip liner. So for me, I'm going to say it's a buy because it's not long wearing. And for me, if I'm going to wear lip liner, lip stain liner, whatever, it has to be long wearing because you put that down on your lips first and it's going to extend the wear of anything that you put on top of it. So it's automatically a buy for me if it's not long wearing. The Huda Beauty Easy Bake Loose Setting Powder. I love this setting powder for my girlies that love a full beat. I also love a full beat. So I'm going to say it's definitely a buy. It also has a great shade range. The Tower 28 All Over Hydrating Serum Concealer. already tells me this is going to be for the girlies that need that extra boost of moisture up under the eye. So that's who I would recommend this particular product for. They have recently extended the shade range. I've never personally tried it out before. I've always heard great things about this one. This is going to be your everyday workhorse type of concealer. So I'm going to go ahead and say it's a buy, especially considering that they have extended the shade range. Let's talk about our girl Estee Lauder. So this is another one that was recently reformulated. I've done a full review and wear test on this one. The shade range is a little bit altered, just in case you're interested. I think that the Estee Lauder Double Wear is literally one of the longest wearing foundations on the market. So you can get that 18 hours of wear out of this foundation, no problem. So I used to wear the shade 5N 1.5. She's a little bit light now, so I would have to go down to 5N 2, just in case you're interested. However, she is definitely a buy for me. Okay, the One Size On Till Dawn mattifying waterproof setting spray. I actually have heard nothing but great things about this one. I'm going to say that this is definitely going to be the setting spray for the oiliest of girls. Hold your breath when you're spraying, because I've heard she can take your breath away. But I'm going to consider this one a buy. Okay, the Stila Stay All Day Waterproof Liquid Eyeliner. This is one that I actually used to use a lot whenever I was a practicing makeup artist. I honestly think that there are just so many more affordable options that you could use versus buying this one. However, it is a great product. It's just that there's no wow factor. There's nothing spectacular about it, and there are other alternatives. Honestly, right now I'm wearing this Essence one. I don't know. I'm sure it's not even $10, and I get what I need to get from it. So I'm gonna say
Bye.
it's a buy. The Sephora Collection retractable eyeliners. They recently reformulated these eyeliners, and I can't wait to pick up this particular color here, which is not in stock. Yeah, I don't know if it's just not in stock yet or what, but this is the shade Matte Terracotta, and I am obsessed with a terracotta on dark and deep skin. I absolutely think that these are worth it. It is waterproof and long wearing and affordable. Can't go wrong. It's definitely a buy. The Makeup Forever Artist Color Lip Pencil. Absolute buy. Where's she at? She is here. I have the color Limitless Brown here in my personal collection. This is one of my favorite brown lip liners. She lasts all day. It's not too warm, overly warm. I think that warm brown lip liners have its place, just like cool and neutral undertone brown lip liners. This is one of the very best if you're looking for a brown lip liner. A1. All right. Next is the O. Henriksen Pout Preserve Hydrating Lip Peptide Treatment. And I have Creme Brulee. I tried this out at the last Sephora Savings event in November. And when I tell you, this is right there behind the EADEM Lip Balm. I absolutely love the consistency of this product. This is another one that when you put it on your lips and wake up the next morning, it just stays with you for an extended period of time. And once it disappears from your lips, it actually, moisturizes. The moisture, the treatment actually sinks into the lips. I absolutely am obsessed. It is a definite buy for me. The NARS Creamy Radiant Long Wear Hydrating Concealer. And this has been with me many, many, many years. Again, when it came to my makeup kit, whenever I was doing makeup on other people, this is one that I always kept on me in a variety of different shades, because NARS, when their concealer, they actually have true cool, neutral, and warm undertones, and they have a lot of shades that I could use for color correcting my brown skin babes. So Caramel would be my shade of choice. This concealer is a happy medium, so it's not a full coverage like the new Charlotte Tilbury, but it's not light coverage either. I really like this one if you have drier under eyes. The NARS Creamy Radiant Concealer is always going to be something that I keep in my collection. All right. The Laura Geller Balance and Brighten Baked Powder Foundation. I have been hearing all the girlies rave about this, especially for my over 50 beauties. I really do want to give this one a try. The price point is absolutely stunning. Laura Geller is new to Sephora. They were introduced over the last couple of months. I absolutely think this is something worth checking out. So it's definitely a buy for me. Okay, the Patrick Ta Headlines Double Take Cream Powder Blush Duo. I really like these blush duos. It's not like my absolute favorite. Do I think there's a great shade range? The formula is nice, absolutely. And I do love the fact that you get your cream and powder formula in one compact. This one is the shade Oh She's Different. This is the only shade that I have in my collection. Like I said, I have a lot of amazing powder and cream blushes in my collection, so I only have this one. Do I think it's a buy? Yes, I do. The One Size Powder Melt Glass Setting Spray. I have been hearing so many people talk about this, and I have yet to try it out. And if you are new here, I'm a self-proclaimed powder queen. I love a good setting powder. I love to be powdered down. I live in Houston. I need that face to be locked in. So I'm going to use my powders, multiple setting powders on my face for different reasons. And I want to give this powder melt a try. People that I know and trust on YouTube and outside of YouTube have said nothing but good things about this one. I'm going to consider it a buy. All right, the Fenty Beauty Soft Matte Longwear Foundation. This may be an unpopular opinion, but I really don't like Fenty's foundations or concealers for that matter, if I'm being honest. My absolute favorite products for complexion from Fenty Beauty, the skin tint that they have, that's one of my favorite skin tints in my collection. And their powder foundation, which is being reformulated in case you didn't know. It is completely gone from the Sephora website. So those two, and of course, the Fenty Beauty Powder Bronzer. Those are my favorites from Fenty, okay? I don't like the liquid foundations. I'm going to consider it a buy. Bye. The Kosas Super Creamy Brightening Concealer with Caffeine. That really sparks my interest. This is one that I have not tried out yet. I have heard some good things. I've actually kind of heard some mixed things. So because I haven't tried it and some of the reviews that from people that I know and trust are mixed, I'm going to consider this one a buy. All right. The Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray was a cult classic. They have reformulated. They are no longer formulated by Scandinavia. So when that happened, I went and bought the Scandinavia because it's the same product of the old version of the All Nighter spray. So for me, it's a buy. Next is the Benefit Hoola Matte Bronzer. This is a classic. This is one that I had in my kit for my medium skin tone babes. I am actually going to say that this one is a buy. Now, this is honestly a cult classic. So if you have fair to medium, I would say consider it. But these days, the formulations on some of these other bronzers and this shade range is just not going to work. So there are so many other better options out there. All right, the Ilia Super Serum Skin Tint SPF 40 Hydrating Foundation. So they say it's a skin tint and then they call it a hydrating foundation. I personally do not like this, especially if you have oily skin. And I'm only like, I really don't like the formulation on this. So I'm definitely going to say bye. Bye. The Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes eyeshadow palette, the original, I don't like the shades. When it comes to the eyeshadow palettes that Mario has been releasing, I kind of feel like they are getting a bit redundant. He does have some good eyeshadow palettes in his collection, but the Ethereal Eyes, especially the original, it's a buy for me. Bye. the Perfecting Foundation Stick. This is a foundation and concealer stick. The shade range for stick foundation is all right. But to be honest, I had multiple shades of this in my collection and I have gifted them since because I just don't like the formulation on these. I think there are a lot of better options. This one, I don't think is for oily skin. If you have dry to normal skin, you may like this, but the better option would be the Dior foundation sticks. Bye. Hourglass Vanish Airbrush Concealer. This is one that I used to use when it first came out some years ago. I think that it's just kind of honestly, a learning curve when it comes to this concealer. You need to apply a very small amount of this concealer and blend out in stages and reapply where you need it the most. But with all of that being said, I'm personally going to consider this one a buy because there are better full coverage concealers, namely the Charlotte Tilbury or Estee Lauder concealer that I prefer better. The Lawless Forget the Filler Lip Plumping Gloss. I have it in my collection in Strawberry Popsicle. This is a really beautiful baby pink on my lips because I have pigmented lips. So when I apply it, this is going to be more of a baby pink look to the lips. I think this is one of the best plumping glosses that you can get at Sephora. When it says smoothing, that's really the truth. I naturally have lines. If you just have lines due to leveling up in age, then this would be one to check out. It does get a little bit spicy, but for me personally, I don't think that it's anything that's unbearable. So it's definitely going to be a buy for me. The Pharmacy Green Clean Cleansing Balm, I believe, is one of the best cleansing balms at Sephora. I used to use it back in the day. I no longer use it because I am low-key a germaphobe and I really don't like the idea of digging into a product. Unless you want to be super diligent to either like use a utensil, like a little spatula to get it out, or make sure your hands are clean before digging into it. I prefer more of a pump liquid action type of makeup remover. So, but if you don't have that issue, the formulation is good. I love the fact that they have it in the regular original version and also an unscented version. It's a beautiful formula and one of the best on the market. I'm going to consider it a buy. Okay. The Rare Beauty Soft Pinch Liquid Blushes are some of the best liquid blushes in my collection. I have really been using the shade Love, which is a beautiful terracotta shade. I have literally been obsessed. It's going to be one of my go-to liquid blushes for spring, summer for sure. I also have it in the shade Face. This is a beautiful deep berry shade. I absolutely love both of these shades. I'm definitely going to consider this one a buy. This one is also good for all skin types, even though it's a soft matte formula. Moving right along. The MAC Go Play Cushion Blurring Blushes. I actually tried these out for the first time last year. I've done a dedicated short swatching all of the shades. This is one of my favorite blush formulas. Again, MAC is near and dear to my heart. That is not why I'm saying that it's a buy. It's a buy because it's a pretty product. Very blurring on the skin. If you have texture, fine lines, all the things, definitely one to check out. Pinch of Myricks is a intense orange brown. When I tell you it's going to look stunning this summer, it's stunning. It's a beautiful shade and a beautiful formula. It's definitely a buy for me. All right, so the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Blurring Balm Primer. I have it in two shades, in the Universal, and this one is the shade number 7, just in case you are interested. This one is closest to my complexion. Let's just say this, brand. I cannot do my makeup without using this. Okay. I can't do my makeup. I don't want to do my makeup. I'm going to be using either number 7. I'm going to be using or Universal. I love the Universal, for like the full glam, full beat. I love number 7 for more of the everyday. I put this on first, then a powder foundation like the MAC or even the Danessa Myricks powder foundation. Those are so good. So hands down for me, 10 out of 10. Creme de la creme. Absolute must have. Yes, it's a buy. the NARS Pure Radiant Tinted Moisturizer. When it comes to tinted moisturizers, this one was the one that's the OG. This is the OG tinted moisturizer. For me personally, there are so many more. It has an SPF 30 in it too. There are so many more options these days when it comes to tinted moisturizers, especially the Milk Hydro Grip. That's going to be one that I would recommend over this one. So I'm going to consider the NARS Tinted Moisturizer. Bye. Okay, the Sephora Collection Glaze Hydrating Lip Balm. This is going to be more that vinyl type of a texture. If you have fine lines or any crepiness around or on the lips, this is just not going to look very flattering. It's definitely not going to look flattering on me either. I can quickly decide that this is going to be a bye. All right, so the NARS Light Reflecting Medium Coverage Foundation, hands down. Most of you girlies know that I do love NARS foundation. I am very aware that the shade range can be a little bit wonky. So if you have skin concerns, aging skin concerns, I'm going to say this one is one of my absolute top picks for my over 50, over 60 beauties, 100%, because it has those good for you ingredients. You're going to get that medium coverage. It's going to give you that youthful, glowing, juicy, plumped looking youthful skin. And that's what we want, right? So the light reflecting foundation is so good. The price point is pretty high at $55. That if you are in the category that I just mentioned, I would say buy 2 different shades and come up with your perfect shade, because that foundation is perfect for you. So for me, I also love it for myself. The shade range again is but I'm definitely going to consider it a buy. Okay, the Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask. Intense hydration is definitely what it is. Do I like it more than my EADEM? My EADEM is kind of like my new benchmark. Nothing beats it. This is a wonderful product. I'm going to be completely honest with you. The only reason why I don't have it is because of that phobia that I have now. And honestly, it truly did develop and intensify once I had children and just aware of all of I was always a clean girl, but it just intensified once I had kids. Okay. So I really, unless it's a body butter, I really don't stick my fingers into pots. I just don't. I don't like it. Is the product inside wonderful? It is. It's a beautiful, beautiful product. 100% highly recommend. If you are okay with, digging it out with your finger, then I would definitely say it's a buy. Oh my gosh, was that 50? I think that was 50, y'all. I feel like I've been here forever. I hope that you enjoyed this type of video. I love talking about makeup products. I have tried thousands of makeup products over the years. I've been on YouTube over 10 years. I was a freelance makeup artist. I am a beauty enthusiast myself. I love this stuff. So these are my thoughts. If you like videos like this, you're going to want to check out the next video I have coming up next. And I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.